Hey, this is Antonette Crosby, and we are back at a time to chill. The word of the day is discipline. Okay, we're gonna have a word every time we come on here, so that that can resonate through your soul for the week. Discipline is the word. If y'all don't know what it is, look it up. If you do know what it is, put it into your spirit and let it resonate. Okay, so that you can have a better week, a better month. Right now, I am with young Brezzy, right? I'm bad with names. How you doing?
I'm good.
Come on, introduce yourself, baby.
Brezzy Esco, BGE, Brezzy Entertainment.
Okay, so in the Brezzy Entertainment, so producer.
Well, I'm the founder and CEO, and then I got a team of producers and engineers and artists.
Okay, so you have a small corporation going.
Yeah. I finally got that 1090, and then I got to pay taxes on it. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
we legalizing our business, black and brown people.
Yeah, definitely.
It's important to do that.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't want to end up like Lil Wayne or Drake, where you come up with something and don't legalize it, and then you can't capitalize off of it, and then these white people take it and make billions. Like bling, Lil Wayne created the word bling.
Bling, bling,
Yep.
right.
The word itself, and which is the definition of that is shining, diamonds.
And so what he can take a word that's popular, that has become popular, and he can
He could have copywritten the word, added it to the Webster dictionary himself, and then then he would have made a lot of money off of it. People started making shirts, everything like that. He never copywritten it, never trademarked it. Now it belongs to somebody else.
So you mean to tell me, as intelligent and as hilarious and funny as we are, and brilliant, we can copyright our own, we can make our own words?
Yeah.
We can make our own language, people?
Your own, not only just your own word, you can do acronyms. I mean, think about it. YOLO. You only live once, right? Drake created that. Same label, two different artists created two of the biggest words of all time.
So while y'all messing
Neither one of
around, playing around, joking around with your family, the only thing you need to do, if it starts catching on and people are saying it, they can go copyright your word.
Yeah, and they will. They will. They will definitely do it. I just did it to somebody, so I took their business. I'm not gonna speak on it, not until
So it's finalized.
Yeah, so in about another 7 or 8 days it'll be finalized.
Wow.
And then I have a meeting with these very same people, so it's crazy.
Congratulations.
I'm trying to do something else. I'm like business-wise, monopolizing, capitalizing off of things that you should already know. You know, this music business is a little creepy. You just gotta watch who
you say it's creepy.
It's handshakes don't match the smiles. Like people. Remember when Martin? You ever watch Martin?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, remember the episode when Varnell Hill showed up?
Mm-hmm.
And remember how he was talking all that Hollywood talking that Martin believed his ass and he went out there?
Mm-hmm.
And it was nothing like he said it was?
Yep.
Well, that's the industry. It's a bunch of Varnell Hills in this industry. So you just gotta, I don't watch what people say, I watch what people do.
That's in my whole
You know what I
life.
mean? Like,
I watch your actions. You could tell me anything. You could tell me the sky actually could be purple at some points of time.
yeah.
And it would be purple, but I know in the morning it's gonna be blue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch your actions, because
Mhm.
words really don't carry the value that they used to.
Yeah, I mean, nah, because you gotta think about
Especially in business.
and it's the person you're talking to. You know what I mean? If they're not a highly respected person and known for being who they say they are, if I don't know you from anywhere, I guess I owe you that much to at least believe you for the time being, but you're never gonna get me in a situation where I'm stuck.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like I said, going back to capitalizing off your work, off of like what Lil Wayne didn't with Bling and Drake not with YOLO. And like even my name, I capitalized off my name because Brezzy Esco. Okay, Brezzy is one word, but Esco is an acronym. It stands for every show cashing out. So I went and got that like copywritten and trademarked and all of that stuff. And then BGE, I have a tattoo that's like from here all the way to here and down here, and that's that for Brezzy Entertainment. I have that trademark and copywritten and LLC.
So your advice to young entrepreneurs coming up: always get your business branded as far as legalizing it with LLCs. Get your business on paper.
Yeah. You do. Oh my God, you don't ever want to be a sole proprietor, because what happens is, if you do it like that, being all stingy and shit, what'll happen is You get sued, they taking everything, not just your business, but your personal shit too. So like they can go, if it's an LLC, they can only take the business is insured. But if you're a sole proprietor, they can take the business to sue you for everything they got, and then your personal outside of that, they can take that too.
So let me break this down to people who might not understand that. Say I'm Antonette Crosby, but I want to have an LLC of a beauty shop, and that's Illusions. Okay. I wouldn't be the sole proprietor of Illusions. I would have to separate my business from my personal. Right. So if I get sued, the business wouldn't able to be sued.
Right, but the business will get sued because it's insured.
It's insured, but they won't take my personal.
Right, they won't go
my cars or my houses or anything like that. Black and brown people, not just black and brown people. This show is for everyone, but our main basis is for us as black and brown people to come together with unity, to share information, so that we can get out of our jobs. There are so many people that I know that work a job but have a amazing skill, but they don't know how to get their skill out. They don't know how to start their business. They don't know who to trust to start their brand. So this show provides you with a look into black and brown people that are actually starting their business, who have had their business, who can quit their jobs that they hate and be able to live their dreams. So is that your main goal?
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, in retrospect, that's the common goal. I mean, for what we doing over at BG is totally different from what these new entertainment companies and labels are doing. Like,
what makes it different?
We're teaching them the business before we listen. I'm not bringing you over to BG if you don't have the talent. So that's a given. I know you have a talent. What a lot of artists need to understand is that it's a billion talented artists in the world. Your talent itself is not going to get you that deal. Your talent yourself is not going to get you as far as you think it is. This is not one of those situations where you're the Jackson 5s singing at all those different competitions and thinking there are no A&Rs in Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Not one. You know what I mean? The closest to meeting the A&R, you may talk to DJ Fusion, maybe. Ballhead Kingpin, shout out to him. And also DJ Payne 1. Like, you might want to talk to those guys. And right now, they're doing their thing right now. So, like, they have the connections, but it's more than just talent. You have to have your business together. Like, first of all, let's make sure that your name is copywritten, right? Let's get that out the way first. You know what I mean? You want to know, you want to make sure that part is copywritten. Then you want to make sure that all of the music that you have is copywritten. You can go to ASCAP, you can go to BMI, you know what I mean? Like, those places are two things, because BMI you can do singer-songwriter.
Do they cost?
Yes, and it's relatively cheap. It's not a lot of money. ASCAP is $50. Like, you know what I mean?
You drink that on the weekends.
For fun. I spend more than that on gas in 2 days. Like, it's just you gotta, after you do those things, then you know what I mean, you start looking at, okay, distribution. You don't have to go to a major label. You can distribute your own self. Like, I did mine where all of my music is distributed in different places. I have Tidal, Deezer, Amazon, iHeartRadio, hell, everything, Spotify, anything you can think of.
And that's where we can find your music. Any specific song that you have there that we can go and listen to?
I just released Bandcamp 2. That's Brezzy Esco Bandcamp 2, and that's on every international platform known to man.
Where do we follow you?
What, as far as social media?
Social media.
So social media is Brezzy Esco at Instagram. Esco_fresh1017, that's Snapchat. Brezzy Esco at Facebook. Brezzy Esco on Twitter. Everything is Brezzy Esco.
Okay.
That's just what it is.
Back to the business. You say you have a talent, very good talent, but not teachable with the business. What do you do? Well, not too susceptible. All he's about is the talent. Good guy, wants to work with you.
I'm gonna teach him how to. If I know he has talent, the first thing I'm gonna start teaching him. Okay, dog, you got something here. Listen, what we're gonna do. Well, I'm gonna show you how to own your own publishing.
Now, I just had a guest on here before, and we were talking about unity within the black community, where I'm always uplifting the unity. I'm always pushing us unifying each other, right? But a lot of us get a little bit of fame and a little bit of name, and that ego blows. Am I right?
I don't understand that either. It's true. And I've seen that here. I came to Madison in 2010.
Oh, where are you from?
Southeast DC, Washington DC.
Okay,
Southeast.
so you came here in 10. What, you mind me asking you what brought you here?
Originally I was in Chicago.
Okay.
And I was out there.
Chicago.
I was out there, you know, with family out there, and I met a woman, and we kind of like started dating right away and got married like right away.
Oh, you're married?
Divorced now.
Oh, okay. All
happily
right.
Happily divorced.
Happily divorced? Happily single?
Yes.
Happily single, ladies? Happily single, Brezzy Esco. He told you where you can find him.
Well, to a certain degree. My daughter's mom, it depends on how she feel. It depends on how she will feel on a weekly basis.
Oh, so you still love baby mama?
Of course I do. I mean, I got a few baby mamas, but like, it's just, I had a lot of maturing to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one to down the mother of my children. You got to take responsibility for your own actions. And even if I felt like it was a reason why something happened, I'm still going to I'm going to give less of her and more of me. Mm-hmm. So at least you can see where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't determine or change anything that you're doing. It's just me showing you who I am and where I'm at with it.
Okay,
you know what
grown man.
I mean? So,
grown man status?
I mean, you know what? In the relationship, that's a whole different thing. Because, like, being honest is not always the smartest thing to do. Like, you'd be like, I told you the truth. But sometimes we tell people the truth and it's selfishly. We're not doing it for them. We're doing it so we can feel better. You know what I mean? Oh, now you know. Yay. But you don't even understand the damage that can bring too.
Hey, the truth gonna bring you damage? Maybe that's probably why I'm still single, because I don't lie. Like, I will tell you the whole truth, nothing but the truth. If you ask a question from me, be able to handle the answer, okay? Don't ask me my body count, you might not like that. Don't ask me if it was good and it wasn't, and I say it wasn't good.
No, that's two things a man should never do. Oh my God, those are two things. Y'all heard that? That's two things you never ask. A man should never ask those. Three things you never ask. Well, no, I'm sorry. One of those you gotta ask. Shout out to R. Kelly.
You gotta ask how old she is?
Gotcha.
Would you like to ask me how old I am?
Well, I know you're grown.
Yes, I am.
I know you're grown.
I'm seasoned.
I know in DC I had to call some people that wasn't grown in the club. And I'm like, how y'all get it? But that's another story. For me, two things you don't ask. You don't ask how good it was. If you're not confident in yourself, there's a problem there. I'm not asking how good it was. I'm not asking a question, except that you need me to you want me to lock the bottom lock when I leave? Because other than that's...
Damn, you're not even spending the night?
No.
Okay.
No.
Don't even depend. You don't even like have a contingency with that?
What you mean?
Like, you might spend the night if. No?
No.
No, they can't escort. They can't get a whole night with you?
No.
Okay, all right.
Like, when I say I'm a busy man, that's an understatement.
Okay.
Like, I work hard, and I'm not like dating nobody right now. I'm not into that. I mean,
but you focus.
Yeah, and then my daughter's mom is one more. If anybody, she got my attention more than anybody. It's people shoot their shot all the time, but like I'm just on something else right now.
All right.
And like business wise, I move frequently. I'm always trying to figure out the next thing to do, how my team is moving, what project is getting ready to come out, if all the copyright is right, did we sample a record that we might have to go get clearance for that's another thing when you're doing music, because speaking of just the talent part of it, if you're doing records right and you do samples or whatever, you have to make sure, if you really want this record to do good, find out who created the record. Because then you can put it out, and if you get paid for it, the producer will find out and sue you.
Okay.
And may sue you for more
than what you even made.
Right, and because they're looking at what it could potentially make, instead of just getting a piece of paper. It's a clearance, and then y'all can discuss the residuals depending on what a lot of times they get with it, they be like, you know what, go ahead, you know what I mean? Because you'll save yourself $120,000. Like, you just don't want to even, go through that. Like,
you're gonna cover all your aspects at the end.
And
You're gonna cover it. Cover yourself.
I was just talking to boss lady about that last night, because she was unfamiliar with Dark Child. That's Rodney Jerkins.
Mm-hmm.
He worked on Mary J. Blige's "Share My World" album.
Right.
And that record particularly, I wanted to use, and thank God social media is a little bit different now. We have social media is the best way to get to people. And I was like, I don't know how to get the Rodney Jerkins, but I think I can get in contact with Mary J. Blige via Twitter, and just send the record to her. And then if she likes it, then we say, okay, who do I got to talk to get the clearance for it? If you approve it and you saying you like it, then you can send it to whoever you need to go to, and then we can put the record out, or else I got to put it out for free. And I really invested a lot of time and money into the record. I've recorded it 6 times.
Okay.
Like, I'm a perfectionist. I can, if I leave the studio and I come back and I hear something that don't sound right, I will keep doing it. I did 2 records like that. That one, and I did a record called All Right. And All Right ain't even a big record. It's on the album on Bandcamp too, but like, I wanted a sound. It was something missing. I did a remix to it, and the remix acapella sounded better than the original track, and so I was gonna put it out. And the label, the way the distribution went out, I couldn't put both records out. They said I couldn't capitalize twice off of it. I'm like, yo, it's my record.
Right.
They're like, yeah, but you paid for this. So if you want to put it out on another album, you got to put another album out.
Because you got to pay for that too, baby. They needs all their money.
And I pay for everything. Like, I pay so that's what I'm saying as far as like, you want to take care of your copyrights and then your distribution.
Okay.
If you're coming over to BGE, if we already know the talent is there, I have an incredible engineer. Shout out to my guy Jay Lieber, from Arkansas. You wanna, if you have the talent, that's cool, right? So I come in and I say, okay, listen, let's set up a game plan. What you want to do? And I'm dead ass. Like, if I think you playing, I'm gonna move. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna send you on your way, because time is money for me. So like, once I see what your plan is, I say, okay, then what's your budget? And then this one woman came over, and she had literally $10,000 in her. I said, why would you bring that kind of money over here? Like, you don't need. Listen, we're not over here to take anything from you. If anything, we're gonna give you what we know, and you can use those tools essentially to make yourself a better artist.
Now let me stop you there. You said we'll give you what we know. A lot of us as Black people want to hoard our information. We don't want to give it. We don't want to share it. And I'm not speaking for all. I said a lot.
Yeah.
And you've come across that vibe with us. With sharing, why do you share? Like, what makes you share other than, well, no, I'm not gonna give it to her because she might not know what to do with it, or I worked for this real hard and this mine, so I'm gonna, that's the mentality that a lot of us have. So why don't you have that mentality?
I mean, the politically correct answer would be, okay, I'm doing
We're not
this.
politically correct here, but you can give me both.
I'm going to give you both of them. The politically correct answer would be, for me personally, is that you don't want to block out the blessings that God intended on you receiving because of the fact that you're being facetious, and being, like I said, demonstrating malice to a person because you feel like they're in a position that you should be given.
Okay.
This is a very narrow road, and only few can travel in this thing.
Yes.
So you gotta have that tunnel vision. That's one thing. But then the other answer would be for me is because I didn't start off rapping and shit like that. I was working with a guy, JT Musgrove, in Washington D.C. He produced Maya's first album.
Okay.
And I was 16, I believe. And I met a guy that used to play for the Denver Broncos, free safety, by the name of Steve Fitzhugh. He created this place in D.C. in Southeast called The House, right? It's not an acronym, it's just called The House. And The House, when you came in there, it was like an after-school thing. So you would leave high school or whatever, and then you would go in there, and it's literally like a regular house, except it's really like better than the Boys and Girls Club. It's like a more mature version of that. So You would go places. You was flying places like at the end of the summer.
Okay.
He had summer leagues. He had a studio upstairs, a professional studio up there, a computer room up there. Then he got a barber shop with a hair salon down. This is for teenagers, by the way.
Okay.
This is for
and
them.
they're running this.
They're running the
this
entire thing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He facilitates. They run the entire thing. He started that out, and that's how I met JT. And he was. I don't know how JT and Steve met, but they however they did it. And there was a lot of people that worked in there. Shout out to Eric Kellum and Steve Fisher, of course. Karen Curry. Who else was there? It's been so many years. I'm actually still in contact with a lot of those people. But for the most part, those are the people I remember the most because I would see them weekly. And Steve saved my life. You know what I mean? Like at the time, in DC, I was ripping and running the streets. Like I didn't have the guidance. Nobody was there. And I don't come from it's not necessarily a broken family. You know what I mean? My mother's
single parent household?
Well, no, because my mother was married to my stepfather. He passed away, but
so
it
you were
still
in a
was,
two-parent household for a minute before he passed, but it wasn't like it was a little dysfunctional, maybe.
Well, not even be. I wasn't there most of the time.
Oh, you were out in the streets doing your thing.
Yeah.
So you weren't really in the home dynamic. You was out doing it.
Nah, I jumped off the porch
early.
Very early.
Okay.
Very early.
And so while you were out there, you ran into Steve.
Yeah, I mean, because school-wise, I was always proficient. I never failed. You know what I mean? I was always the best. You know what I mean? Academically, I was always the best. It's just that you get bored with that shit. Like you got nobody there. You know what I mean? Nobody's coming to you. I was in marching band, all types of stuff, but I was in the streets heavy. But I knew how to balance the two at an early age.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I hung around people that were way older than me. And I was allowed to be around those guys because I observed and didn't say anything. I just watched and see how people move. And that's how I relate that to the music and why I felt like it was the opportunity was given to me, to say the least. I don't want to stretch it too far. It was just those people created an opportunity for me. And even the business part they didn't necessarily teach yet because they wasn't teaching that. They were just trying to make sure that we were talentedly motivated, or motivated to be talented, give or take.
Okay.
And there was a lot of talent that came in there. Shout out to Fat Trail. He came through there, and now he's big. I know he was working with Maybach Music and Wale.
So you work with some people that work with some people. You've been around some.
Yeah, Fat Trail, he young. He a lot younger than me. So is Shy Glizzy. But those guys, they made it. You know what I mean? They whatever their personal thing is their personal thing. But musically, and Wale kind of opened the door for everybody. You know what I mean?
How so?
Because he was the first international artist from Washington D.C. rapping wise. Now we have a lot of incredible talent from there. Like on the comedy side, we got Martin. Martin is technically from that area. So is Dave Chappelle, but they say he's also from Ohio.
He lives in Ohio.
Yeah. Well, no. He lives somewhere else. I was told he lives in like somewhere far.
Oh, far out, because on his last special he said he lived in Ohio.
Oh, so he back? Well, he might be back.
He said he was in Ohio.
Yeah, and then so that's on the comedy side. But then you talk about music. Marvin Gaye's from DC. Johnny Gill is from DC. Raheem Devon is from DC. Jay Holiday is from DC. The Braxtons, they're from DC. Ava Marie's from DC. Maya's from DC.
DC is popping.
Like we got a lot of talent. You know what I mean? Like it's so the list goes on and on and on and on and on as far as Ryan Leslie, he's another one from DC.
And you're from DC. What are you bringing? What are you going to bring? Since we have all this talent, from DC, what are you going to bring to Madison from DC?
You know what it is? Insight. Because the Midwest is so far-fetched from where we're from. You know what I mean? Like, The only thing we knew about Wisconsin was the Badgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Cheese and beer.
And we know that they go to the Big Ten every year.
Okay.
We kind of banked on that. That was a lot of money we was making on them games. But like as far as like the talent, I laughed so hard at the time when I first got here. I was like, these guys, seriously, this is one of the most harmless cities I've ever been in. And I went around. I mean, I remember the first time I came around, and I literally had like $10,000 in my pocket. And I guess these two guys decided that they were going to, I guess they planned on trying to rob me. I was walking around in the neighborhood of the North at the time. This is when I first got here in 2010. I was over there on, what's that, Troy Drive.
Okay.
And I'm walking over there, it was a PDQ at the time, I think that's what it was, the gas station or whatever. And I guess they planned on doing it. I'm like, I'm a two-time Golden Glove. Like, I love to see that happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna beat both their asses. They can have a gun. I'm gonna beat their ass. Like, it's just not. I'm like, man, that's all. I'm hoping that y'all got more than that. I'm hoping it's like at least 7 of y'all. Because 4 of y'all, I can whoop y'all asses. Like, this is not gonna happen. And it didn't. It never happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I definitely like I paid my dues as far as the music scene. I've worked with everyone from UCAN, shout out to Karen Reese over there, and to Radio 22 with Corey Whitmore and 608 Boss Lady, and
okay, so you've been networking in the town for a while.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, when you're a new kid on the block, though, you have to, like, I was very arrogant when I first got here. Mm-hmm. Because the talent was so beneath what we were doing. They were so out of date. Even the clothes it was clothes. The style here was so like 5 years behind.
Okay.
I was like, man, they can't be serious. Like, y'all still wearing jabot up here. What the hell is that? Like, I'm like, okay. We stopped wearing jabot in 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
And people was wearing jabots they thought that was fresh, a white t-shirt, some jabots, and some Air Force Ones, which doesn't make any sense at all.
You know what? I just said this to my friend. I was like, I don't know, and this is just me personally, but I don't talk to dudes that want to talk to me with Air Force Ones. Like, that was so when I was in high school. Like, not wrong. That I judge them, but you know, as black people, we do. What is the first thing that you see when you I look at your shoes when I look at a man. I look at your shoes and I look at your teeth. Okay, because if you don't take care of your shoes, but these teeth ain't take care of, I got a problem. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I can't tell you what I look at first these days.
Man, this baby mama got you on lock, boy. You ain't looking, you ain't checking for nothing.
I can't even. I'd be lying if I know.
Just in general, period. Like
conversation.
And I am too. For physical, I'm looking at the shoes and your teeth. Mental, you have to pique my interest. Like, yeah. You have to let me know that you are maybe researching things, yeah. Or certain things intrigue you other than face value, what we're seeing on a daily basis. I mean, yes, material things.
That's a different thing. I think that kind of goes a little, like, for me, anybody tell you I'm just real materialistic. Shout out to my man, Chaos New Money, because he put me on a lot as far as the music business part of it as well. He showed me a lot to be a younger cat. That's my little bro, and he showed me a lot because he's connected to a lot of people. So definitely shout out to Chaos New Money. But and also shout out to Chill Well, man. Get well soon, brother. Get well soon.
You have a very impeccable memory. The people that touch you give back. Yeah. Because I've been listening to you. You've been shouting out the people. You remember these people's names. These people have touched you. Like, you give. So you believe what you give is what you receive. I kind of can take that from your conversation.
Well, yeah and no, because like for me, I don't do anything expecting anything.
Not expecting, but just who you are. Your makeup is you give. You have to give back. Like, to those who have touched you, or you always are shouting out. You're always.
I wasn't even raised like that. That's the crazy thing about it.
Really?
I didn't have no real upbringing. Like, I was in the streets. Everything I know, I literally developed it from experience.
And that's so weird, because I've been hearing you talk about team. My team this, the team that.
Yeah.
My question to you would be, is a team on a scale from 1 to 10, how important when you are having a business is a team, to form a team?
It's
because I know a lot of people that just it's one this and it's my this and it's my thing. Is it how important from 1 to 10 is it for you to have a team to back you in your business?
You gotta have a team. I mean, even Michael Jordan had a coach. You know what I mean? You can't do this by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you can fly a plane from here to Alaska and to Africa and Zimbabwe and back. Without no navigational system, how the hell you gonna get there?
Yeah.
Somebody has to navigate you to get there. And I don't know everything, and I'm smart enough to know that. So I'm gonna put somebody who knows more than I do in a position because it's for the greater good. I really like working around people who wanted more than me.
Man.
Because at that point, if I know you wanted more than me, I know we're destined for greatness. If we fail, we're gonna fall on a bunch of money. I'm 100% sure of that. It's just how you move. And if you got the mindset, and I try to tell people, I'll be like, listen, don't ever question what I do business-wise, because if I chose you and you tell me that I'm making a bad business decision, then why are you here? Because that means I picked the wrong person. That means you telling me that if this decision I'm making is wrong.
Okay, but here's the thing. If I'm telling you, hey, I think this is wrong, right? So say we're business partners, and you brought me in, and I say, hey, Esco, I don't think that we should do this. Would you be susceptible to listen as boss if I give you, hey, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C?
Yeah.
This is how I'm feeling. This is, you know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Well, that's majority of the rules. Like, that's just how I am with my team. When a new artist want to come to BG, I normally don't see him first. The management and my engineer, Jay Lee, they'll meet whoever he or she is. And the reason I do that is because a manager has to be able to know if they're going to need PR and if they're going to need, artist development or not. The engineer is there to say, I don't know if I can work with this person. I got to see what they're like and get a feel for them musically. So those two things are very essential because I got to know what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? I got a lot of other stuff I got to take care of personally and then business-wise. So I send my people to meet those people, and you know what I mean? I remember one time it didn't work out. The weirdest thing ever, it just never happened to me before. It was the first time. It was the weirdest experience ever. I had my management meet this guy, and off the pure strength of me, I knew in my heart I knew it was a bad idea. I knew it was a bad idea. Something just in my spirit said, something's up with this guy. I threw a show called The Come Up. It was part 2 because we did one in Portage. And shout out to Becca Lovick for that. Also Photo Man White. Also shout out to Sheena Vice and Fuji Yamaguchi. Those people we kind of tied it together. Donovan, shout out to Donovan too. So like those people, people who helped put together, the come ups and stuff like that. And I remember we already had the venue set up, and he wanted to come to BG. So I said, all right, y'all, we're gonna do something. I'm gonna do this because y'all
against your first mind.
Yeah, because they majority rules. They said, man, just give him a shot. Okay, cool. Give him a couple songs. We're going to let him perform first because he's not on the video. Let him open up. We sitting there, I'm filming it, and we're live. And I'm filming it, and I look, and I'm like, after his performance, I'm telling Becca, like, yo, he was belligerent, he was drinking.
Aww.
He was ad-libbing to the songs that he wrote as if we knew the words.
Oh, wow.
How you gonna ad lib to a record and we don't know the words? So that was enough for me to be like, all right, I'm done. And then we did some background checks on this dude and found out some very, very, very serious things that I'm not gonna speak on. But like,
so business, it can be personal.
Well,
and so and then that's a thin question, like, because this is what I think. When you're going to a corporation,
yeah,
and a corporation is going to hire you, they be in your business. You got to come to the picnics. They want to meet the family. They're in your credit score. They on your Facebook. They are on everything.
Yeah.
So I do, when I think business is personal, I need to know who you are. I need to know what you represent. I need to know how your level of discipline. I need to know what motivates you if I'm going to put my name with you and do business with you. So that's what I mean is business personal.
And there's a thin line between that too, because like you got like, okay, because
you had a bad feeling and you already knew.
Yeah, but
and signing this person could actually bring down sales and bring down your money.
And it goes
even if the talent is good.
Yeah, but it goes from, you got to separate that. Sometimes you got to separate the artist from the, the person from the
art.
And what you do personally is what you do, because this is business, right? And with my team, I've always tried to express to them that, listen, I don't care if I don't like this guy personally. If we can get money together, we're going to put this personal shit aside and we're going to get this money, because that's what it's about in this business. There is no love in this business. There's no love. Now you love what you do, but there's no outside entity that you can love, because they don't care about you. Even when you sign to the major labels, they are not your family. They do not care about you. Listen, a major label deal is like a bank loan, right? BG, right? For instance, I go to the bank and I borrow $500,000, right, from the bank. I have good credit. So my interest on that $500,000 may be 0.1 to 0.3% on a dollar, right? Then I go and I say, okay, there's a talent. I'm going to sign him for $50,000, right? Then this is what I'm going to do, right? I owe the bank $500,000. I sign you for $50,000. I'm going to give you a 2-album contract, right? With about 15 records on every album, right? Now, you gotta. I'm gonna give you the 50,000, but then here's where they hit you. Radio play, they gotta pay for that. Promotion, BET, MTV, they gotta pay for that. Your management, you gotta pay for that. Your public relations, you have to pay for that. Your personal team and your flights and everything, you have to pay for that.
Out the 50,000?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That 50,000 gone. You got 2,500 left after all that.
And then you got an obligation to meet. Because you got to get those 15 records. And then we have to approve them.
So how they put all this money on here and all this jewelry and all these cars and stuff? They got this amount of money, but it's really you.
You're in debt the minute you sign to a major label. You are already in debt unless you came with your own money. Now, to be honest with y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something that nobody is going to ever tell you. But there is a dollar amount that can get you in the door, and it's about $250,000. $270,000 max will get you in the door of any major label. You can literally create a major label with that amount of money, because mind you, at that point your credit should be where it's supposed to be. Getting your credit right as an artist is the #1 thing you want to do first, because at that point you can financially back yourself. You can get an SBA loan. Some of y'all probably don't even know what that is. You can get an SBA loan to support your own financial backing. And then you take that money and you go to the label with that. Listen, I got $250,000 already. What can y'all do for me? I can do it by my damn self. I don't need y'all. This is the only thing that the corporate world has that we don't have. That large machine. That's it. They can get you out faster to the masses, right?
So once we conquer that, it's a wrap.
Money is in going back to team. That's why you need a team, because they can find resources that you may not know nothing about. Boss Lady last night was just telling me something about this app called Loom, L-U-M. And I gotta go check it out. And what happens is, okay, there's 2 types of things you could be. You could be a fan, she was saying, or you could be an artist. If you're a fan, right, you can download anybody's music and shit, right? And you can listen to it like that, right? When you're an artist, you put the music out there and then see how many fans download your music. You know what I mean? And that's another way to expand. I use DistroKid. DistroKid, I signed every contract you could think of. I paid for every way, to the point where, like, if you go on YouTube and you go look up one of my records, for every commercial that comes on that song, I get any of my songs. I get paid for that. I get paid. I get endorsed by any one of those commercials. I don't give a damn if it's Papay's or Palmolive, whatever it is. I get paid for that. It could be any entity. I even signed a thing where I paid where if I was to pass away, Lord forbid, that the royalties that I make on my music is forever. That my children will always get paid forever. You know what I mean? Like, I did it with Spotify, like I said, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Tidal.
Have you ever done any workshops?
No. Me and Willie Wright was talking about it. Shout out to Willie Wright. We was talking about that.
An informational workshop, maybe once a month, or maybe, one time a year or something, where you bring the entrepreneurs together and give them some information, like do a small workshop, an hour workshop or something, so that they will know how to protect themselves and what they need to know and the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, because here's the crazy thing about that. Truth be told, and I'm not going to say no name, I'm not going to separate anybody as well. There are a lot of entities that's in this city that don't know the shit I know.
I know, because I've talked to a lot, and this is a lot of your information is new to me. Hearing it from the mouths of the Black entrepreneurs. I've researched myself, and I hear this, like you hear the rappers talking about these things that you're talking about, or the producers, when you're watching the shows. Mm-hmm. But talking to somebody formally, they don't talk like you're talking. Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of these labels know me. I'm not gonna say their names either, but I've been offered a few deals. I'm an asshole when it comes to my business.
Right, you have to be a beast to protect yourself and get what you're owed.
But then there's people who do know what's going on, and they just feel like you should pay. The game is to be sold and not to be told. And here's the thing about that: when you got people like Hove who giving you the jewels that he's dropping, like the last 2 weeks I've been listening to the 444 album.
Oh, that's my album.
And I remember 50 Cent made a joke. He said you had to put on reading glasses to listen to the song, the album. Funniest guy ever. That dude is so petty. But
he is the king of petty. I love him.
But the truth be told, he said it's always in every joke. There's always a truth and a lie, right? Because he was telling you basically, he says so much powerful shit. You better take heed to it, because like everybody, let's see, we got the Nicki Minaj situation, right? And maybe how far does this go?
Go ahead, go.
Like as far like does it reach?
Yeah, we reach California, we reach New York, we reach.
All right, Nikki, if she ever see this, and I run into her, she'll be mad as hell. But I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, exclusively. Listen, this is the goal. Jay-Z said this in 2004. Everybody knows. Remember when he retired? Okay, there's a back end story to that. When Jay-Z first signed his deal, and he got the Rockefeller deal, or whatever, and they went over to Def Jam. He got the label, but he also had a artist deal. So Jay-Z himself was the artist, but then he had Rockefeller we could sign the artist along with Kareem Biggs and Dame Dash, right?
Okay.
So they, at the time I think Emery was locked up and Tata was always there. So look, this what happened. He was confined to 7 albums. So you go back from 1996 to 2004, it took that long to get those albums out. You know what I mean? You had, I believe, what came out first? It was Reasonable Doubt, The Streets Is Watching, and then he did, what did he do next? The Dynasty, I think it might have been. In between them times he did, that was 3, I think he did Life and Time with Sean Carter, In My Life, and I forgot the other one. It was 3.
I'm bad with the names. I can't even tell you.
Life and Time with Sean Carter, In My Life, and Hard Knock Life. That's what it was. Hard Knock Life.
Okay.
And then he did MTV Unplugged and some other stuff. But needless to say, he had to get those albums together. And then when he finished his last album, which was the Black Album, he called it retired, right? No, that's not what happened. What happened was he had, imagine they put a tag on it. That's another thing too. When y'all sign these contracts, they can say, look, we only want 2 albums from you or 3 albums from you. That's all we want from you. And you sound right here, we're going to give you this amount of money, and then we're going to say, you're done. No, you're not done. It's no different from buying a house and they're getting fucked up, and then they put a tag on it. What happens is, you're not out of that contract yet. So yes, you've done your 3 albums according to what the contract you thought you read said, but that's not true. They can put a 3-album contract on you, then put a 2-year tag, which means no other artist or entity or label can sign you, and because they want to get
after the extra 2 years.
Oh, this is how they fuck you.
But you already gave them what they wanted.
This is true. But a lot of times, okay, you've met the expectations, right?
Right.
Remember that SBA loan I was talking about, how that $500,000 and then you get this small interest on it, right? And I give you this little bit of money off my money, right?
Yeah.
Now, I've made my money back from you 10 times, right? But now I'm gonna hold you 2 more years because I can accumulate more money from you. So as long as those albums are still out 2 years straight, I can still accumulate more money from you. Then I'll let you go. Selfish as hell. And then you can go to the other label. Or if they so selfish, what happened is, well, you still owe another 1.4 million. So now you go to this label and this label sign you, but now they gotta buy you out of that contract.
That's dirty.
So now you owe this label 1.4 million plus the money they're gonna front you in advance for that album.
So you just ain't never out of deal unless you had come in there with your own.
So what Hov did, going back to that, this is how it all ties in. Hov was done with that album, right? He bought back his masters.
Okay, so because that money, the masters, is what's going to sell for years and years, and he can continually get those residuals.
Right, so what happened was, remember he dropped Kingdom Come.
Yep.
Right? And Kingdom Come was okay, then he dropped American Gangster. Right? People compared American Gangster to Reasonable Doubt. Very much of what he was saying, right? But he was still having some situations. So when the Blueprint 3 came out, in 2009, right? Big year for everybody. Beyonce did the 2C album, I Am Sasha Fierce.
Yeah.
Fabulous dropped Loso's Way. He dropped Loso's Way. Wale did Attention Deficit. That's when he first came in the game. Wiz Khalifa dropped that year. Yo Gotti came out that year. It was J. Cole also got signed that year. All of these new artists that came out in 2009. Nicki Minaj was at the peak. She was coming in. Lil Wayne had just dropped the Carter 3 right a year or so before that. So we got a lot of money coming in.
Yes.
We got a lot of different situations coming in. Not to mention Drake came in the same year. So we got all these guys coming in, right? Now meanwhile, Hov over here, he like, okay, well look, I'm gonna drop the Blueprint 3, and he talks about that, how he had to buy the rights back to Blueprint 1 and 2 in order to make Blueprint 3. But mind you, he was still under that tag. So what he did was he bought back his masters so that he can continue. This is how Roc Nation was formed, because now he owns all of his masters.
So, I mean, the brilliance of it all. You had to, being around him, you had to have sensed it in some way. Damon Dash is excellent. He's smart, but
Dame was a bully though. Dame.
Okay. I mean, he did go in. He did his thing. Maybe he didn't do it politically correct as he should have.
Move quietly. You gotta.
So you think that's what the tension was? That's kind of what the breakup was. Like Hov knew how to move to get it, and Dame was like, "No, I want to get it how the streets get it."
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I respect about. I respect both of them,
right?
Because they did this thing. They had a dream. They accomplished many things. You know what I mean? Reasonable Doubt was supposed to be the first and last album. You know what I mean? So they've made a lot of money together. They've done a lot of business together. Probably some things neither one of them agree with, and they did it anyway because that's what the team does. My thing is, listen, you have to respect the powers that be. You can't go in these places disrespecting these people, because the very table that you sit at, there's somebody that owns the building for the you know what I mean? Respect the owner. You are just a visitor and you're a tenant in this building. That's what you got to understand. And Hov understood that. I am a tenant in this building, but one day I'm going to own the building.
Right.
And that was Hov's plan, was to own the building. Dame's plan was just to be in the building.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's a difference between becoming a man and being a man.
All right.
You know what I mean? They wanted to be the man. Jay-Z became the man. You can see the difference and growth when the separation happened. Now going back to Nicki. So Nicki's talking about retirement.
Right. That's what I was just coming up and saying that. Like she wants to retire. What is that like? Just a ploy? Is that that's
Jay-Z? That's the Jay-Z. That's why I mentioned Jay-Z first.
Okay.
He set that blueprint in 2004. Everybody's following that. Jeezy, all of a sudden retiring, right? With TM 104, he's not retiring. He bought his masters back. But you in these interviews, they'll make you say some shit that you don't want to say yet. We know you're getting ready to leave and create this thing like Hov did.
But why say retire though?
Because then the label won't. They'll let you release your album.
Okay.
It's my last album. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm not never rapping again.
All right. So if they think that that's the truth, then you got to do the dance for them.
So you do
what you need.
Yep, you do the dance and you release the album. Like Jay-Z did a big press conference about the Black Album, and everybody was like, you know what I mean? Even me, I was hurt because I didn't know the business that well back then. You know what I mean? We talking 15 years ago, and you know, damn, it's been 15 years. And
Yeah, quick.
And he dropped it, and then Upgrades You come out by Beyonce, and look who shows up.
Yes. I thought that too. Like I thought he was retiring, but then again I thought, okay, well he's with the wife, so now that's how he can move.
Smart guy. Listen to all his interviews though, because at the time he said he was retiring, then he doubled back and said, I said I was retiring as far as albums, but I didn't say I was retiring from stop rapping. You know what I mean? Because he had a song with Lenny Kravitz.
Oh yeah.
But he didn't appear in the video. But they had a mirror of him.
They did. Cold-blooded.
And when Beyonce did Upgrade and I watched the video, I'm like, man, I know Hov is on this song. I know Hov is on this song. Is he gonna? And when they did she was sitting in the chair and Hov showed up. I'm like, oh shit, Hov. And I'm in the house by myself. Listen, when Kingdom Come dropped, I swear to God, I was in Fairfax, Virginia. I got up like 7 o'clock that morning and went to FYE, standing in line like it was gonna be a major night. Nobody was there, just my dumb ass. But like, I was so pressed about getting the album because I've been such a Jay-Z fan from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like,
because he drops so many jewels, like so much information that if you're hungry for it, you can catch it and apply it to what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can talk about this now because it's over with and it happened. But at the time, many years ago, more than 10 years ago, I had a chance to get over there to Rockefeller.
Oh, really?
But mind you, the story that we know that wound up happening was not what we thought was going to happen. And I'm going to tell you something. I've never met Jay-Z in person. I had a chance to talk to him from a conference phone.
Okay.
And I swear to God, listen, Jay-Z is not, and I mean this in the most respectful, positive way, Jay-Z is not who we think he is.
Okay.
Like, that rapper will fool the shit out you. Like, he's not that guy. His conversation was...
He's a businessman.
Yeah, it sound like you get intimidated a little bit because it's like you talking to the boss and you know you're about to get fired or some shit. Like, you know, the corporate coming.
Yeah.
He's that guy. Like, his conversation is totally different. And he told me something. He told me two things because when I first got over there, he was telling me that I needed to learn how to separate the streets from the music. And I'm like, what? All the niggas feeling me in DC, fucking he talk. Trying to hear this shit, you talk about this shit too. I'm 21 years old, he talking about something. Separate the streets. I'm out here hustling, gang bang. He talking about some separate, because my music was good, but he was like, I was just caught in the streets a little too. I'm not trying to hear shit he's saying at this time. So me being ignorant. You
but
know
why
what
didn't you ask what that meant? Like, I asked a billion questions.
I wasn't trying to hear shit he was talking about. Like, I wasn't trying to hear that.
It just didn't resonate at the time, and you was like, Okay, that's the one thing. What's the second thing?
And the second thing was, and that's what hurt my feelings. Okay, so I ain't gonna mention nobody else, but it was a group who had a chance, and that's how I got in, through their management. The two things that's important: never mix business with pleasure. The manager that they had was the one who got me in there to get this opportunity, right? And before the ink was even dry, we found out later on at It was a celebration party, you know what I mean? And we had the chance to come in, and I'm telling you, God can give and God can take. Because what wound up happening is the contract was ready and was about to be set in place, and we find out that the manager is fucking one of the A&Rs over there at Rockefeller. Go to a party and shit. The woman is there with the A&R guy, and then the manager sees that, attacks the woman in this Rockefeller situation, attacks the woman.
No.
We get a conference call the next morning. Hov, Jay-Z himself, if he ever see this, if he ever remember this, Jay-Z himself got on that phone and he talked to them first, and I don't know what he said to them, and he talked to me second, right? Mm-hmm. And he told me that how could he trust that I can make the right decision if I couldn't even pick the right management?
No! Like it was your fault. Like you had, like you knew this was what they was doing. Like you had any control over that.
And you know what though? That goes back to him putting out Reasonable Doubt. He had a record called Regrets. In order to survive, you gotta learn to live with regrets. It's my fault. It was my fault.
How was it your fault?
Because I made a decision to believe in somebody without doing a thorough background check on them. And so whatever they did, it's on me. It's on me because you are a representation of me.
Because it's a team.
So they're looking at you like, okay, well, if you're representing him, that means he's like this because you're him. He's you. You are a team and you are a brand. And when you brand yourself and you put people in your situations, you got to know who you're dealing with. You got to trust your team. That's just what it comes down to.
You gotta trust your team, people. If you can't trust your team, then it's no team, and it'll crumble. One chink in the chain.
And there goes my Rockefeller deal. Oh, out of the door. Out of the door. Shout out to young Steph though. I appreciate the conversations we had because he was a young kid. I was 21. I think he was like 13 or 14 at the time, and the little boy sounded like Michael Jackson. Like Santa Claus come on to town?
Yeah.
That Michael. He sounded like that Michael. And I remember he was in the studio working with Kanye West, and none of those records ever came out.
Oh, no. I know. What is he doing now? Do you know?
I know he had wound up, so he wound up getting with Atlantic.
Okay.
And that's when he did that song Professional, and did the song called Juke.
Okay.
Because he got older. When y'all seen him, that was my first time seeing him in the Lawns. But when I met him, he was a shorty. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? With little cornrows and could sing his little ass, a cute little kid. And could sing like hell. I'm talking about like, even when they was just doing, just behind the scenes without him being in the booth, just standing there and Kanye and them, they doing their thing and shit. And like, he was just singing. Mm-hmm. He could just sing, and he would hit notes effortlessly.
Oh.
Effortlessly. I've never seen no shit like that. That boy could sing like Hov knew what he was doing. Like he had a vision, and I'm dumb as hell at the time. I don't know this shit. I don't know, but that one conversation was the last conversation I ever had with him. Like I said, I've never met him in person, and I never forgot that.
And you took that, you held that, and kind of build on that?
Yeah, because it's like putting a brick on somebody's heart and standing on it. Like, that shit hurt. Like, you don't understand. Like,
You was excited.
Yeah, because I started talking shit to niggas. You know what I mean? Like, you start getting big head. I'm like, yeah, nigga, fuck y'all niggas here. I'm beefing with dudes and shit. And I'm talking all kind of crazy to people like, yeah, I'm about to get this money, get out of here anyway.
And now you got to hold your head down in shame.
Man,
like it's not even.
You had to be worried about coming outside. Like, yeah, people was looking for me. Like, it was real.
So never count your chickens before your eggs, or put your, what is it? Never count your.
Never count your eggs before your. Never count your chickens before your eggs hatch or something.
Yeah. So right, put your.
Never count your eggs before they hatch. Is that what it is? Never count your eggs before they hatch.
Yeah, whatever it is. Make sure you got your name on a dotted line before you get to popping off.
But yeah, those are the people that's doing retirement and really buying their masters back. Young Jeezy is. Nicki Minaj is definitely about to.
So buy your masters. Buy your masters.
Take a deal. Don't buy no Bugattis and no damn chains and houses and shit like that. First of all, the first thing you want to do when you get that, as soon as you get that signing bonus, go clean your credit up. Go clean your credit up. If you got bad, you ever notice there's a lot of artists that sign with a lot of money and bad credit. Case in point, when Rick Ross first got into the game, right, he endorsed Hillary Clinton. But the favor she gave back to him, some of y'all might not know, was the first Maybach Rick Ross ever had was co-signed by Hillary Clinton.
What?
Because his credit wasn't right.
Information
Facts.
Central today.
Facts.
Look, time to chill.
Sue me if I'm lying.
Time to
Facts.
chill. We have done some shows, but this is the most informative show that we
Facts.
have. This is the most informative guest. You young entrepreneurs that are trying to get in this business or any other business, listen to what he's saying. He is dropping jewels today and personal and giving you personal example. We deal with the truth here. We deal with the truth, the uncut truth. If you don't like it, turn off. But if you do listen, pay attention, and you might learn something. Okay. Well, I want to Coming to America. The new movie. What you think? I think they shouldn't. I think they should keep it the way it is. I like the classic. Just leave it alone.
I'm with it. It's been...
Why? Because
like
what
30
if it sucks? Like what if it's not what I want it to be?
you
What can do better than Coming to America?
You-
What the soul glow? We don't wear curls no more. Like how can you substitute that?
Well, the same way we allowed the Lion King to come out on theater
I
again.
didn't watch that.
After we knew
I didn't watch it.
That Mufasa, what was his name? Mufasa. We knew Mufasa was gonna die. We still let it.
Yeah,
we
but
knew
I didn't
Lion
watch
King.
it because I've already seen, like, that's me, I'm old school. So once it's a classic, leave it alone. Just like you have a classic old school car, you know, the man come out, he got the rims on it, he repainted. There's nothing else you can do to it. It's you taking this old thing, you put the shine on it, that's it.
Well, I think that, the only thing that's going to affect them is the way society's built right now. Everybody's so sensitive. And you got to watch
cancel
everything
culture,
you say.
Right? Is it the cancel culture? You agree with Dave Chappelle when he said we're living in the cancel culture?
Yeah, like we everything. Like, listen, there's a level. There you can be disrespectful. There's a level that I won't even cross, musically, comedically, none. Like even in the industry, in the corporate world, there's some lines I'm not crossing. You have to respect the conglomerate. You just have to. You have to respect that. And with that being said, like, yeah, I get that, but at the same token, we have to let our head down a little bit, relax, people. Like, come on, we've seen, if y'all, I'm gonna tell you the God honest truth.
Okay.
It's not black people that's the sensitive ones. It's you white people that's sensitive. And the craziest thing about that shit is, y'all wanna be sensitive now.
Out of all the stuff they done did.
But what happened to Emmett
history.
Till? What happened to, like, are you serious? We want to be sensitive now, but y'all telling us that slavery it's not slavery, it was forced labor. That's what y'all want to tell us? Y'all think that shit is cool, but y'all want to be sensitive? What if we did this? What if we just started talking about nothing but slavery, right? And started, when we do these shows, right, and we put a big ass screen up, right, and we just rapped about that at the concert. Sensitive? Then who would be sensitive at that point? Like, we gotta know the boundaries, man. Like, y'all allowed a lot of shit for 400 and some years that should have never happened. And now y'all wanna talk about sensitivity. Now we got, like, Coming to America, right? Okay, that movie coming out, it's gonna be some things that they're gonna really dissect and say, oh, he shouldn't have said that. Oh, he shouldn't have did that. And Eddie Murphy has always been politically correct. Once he got to a certain status, he became very politically correct.
Right. Because he didn't used to be. When he
Martin either.
Yeah.
Martin either. Will has always been clean cut.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Always.
Denzel has always been quiet. There's a difference. There's a difference between being politically correct and being quiet. That's just that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just certain people in the industry that knows you just got to know how to maneuver and know how to just play your game, do your thing, and stay in the cut. Case in point, basketball fans. Do y'all know that Grant Hill was still in the league just not too long ago? Same thing with Juwan Howard. They have been in the league all of this time. I think Juwan Howard just retired like 2 or 3 years ago. Mind you, he played for the Washington Bullets 20 years ago. And it was, you know why? Because he played his position, stayed in the cut, and got his money. right?
Okay.
Well, that's what a lot of people. It's just certain things. Don't cross too many boundaries. But we gotta. This. Come on, what's really sensitive these days? You know, we gotta look at. It's not just that. We gotta look at what we determine should be a situation that shouldn't. Right. A thing that bothers me is something Dave Chappelle talked about, and I've seen it recently, and it bothered me. This age thing about certain things. Now, mind you, in no shape, form, or matter am I condoning any of the underage sex thing, none of that, right? But, and I'm not going to try to go too far with this either, because there's two meanings to this. Okay, the first thing is, what is really innocent, right? Okay, so this 16-year-old little girl had sex with this 22-year-old man, and that man went to prison, right? Okay, that same 16-year-old girl kills a 22-year-old man, and now she's no longer innocent. She's tried as an adult.
It makes sense.
What sense does that make?
Well, because it's two different crimes, though. You have a murder, and then you have a rape.
No, but it's rape to them. But what if it was consensual?
Right. I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying
so they're gonna put the age
her.
on it to make it correct in their eyes. So put the spin on it, like she can have sexual relations at 16,
yeah,
and that's rape. But at 16, if she murders somebody to protect herself, it's murder.
It's murder.
It's the system. System is. So would you say the system is the whole system was created with us not in mind?
Absolutely. Crack cocaine is one of the reasons. The difference between crack and cocaine is baking soda. But you mean to tell me I'll get more time for adding baking soda to it than I would if I just had it pure? What sense does that make, y'all? Come on,
the sense is the money. The sense is the money. It's all about money, and that's been the bottom line of anything in all of my interviews. It's the money. The money. And we talked about this earlier, though.
Yeah.
The money will change you. The money will change. The money changes everything. The money changes the people around you. The money will change you. Like the weirdest, unloyalist person, you give them money and now they're being praised. But the real dude that's in the hood that's fighting for your rights and that's being a man and raising his kids, that's working his 9 to 5, that don't have the money, he a lame or he boring. But the lame that's out here that don't have the half of his skills, his mental capacity, or the love of his heart will be the one praised because he has the money. Do you see what I'm saying?
I mean, what is a man to gain the world, lose his soul? I mean, you profit the world, lose your soul. Some people, I've seen that. I've seen a combination of a couple of odd things. I've seen fake fuck niggas do real shit, and I've seen real niggas do fuck shit. It fucks me up all of the time. I don't understand it. I've seen it both ways.
I'm trying to think because I've just been seeing a lot of.
I've seen it both ways.
You're right. I've been seeing a lot of real dudes do some crazy shit. Like remember the Samuel L. Jackson movie Brown. He was in it. It wasn't his movie, but he was in it. The Brown. What's the lady name? Anyway, he had a scene when he was with it wasn't Al Pacino, it was the other white guy that
John Travolta.
Not John Travolta. He's older now. I'm so terrible with names, but he's in the truck with him.
With so many people.
He's in the truck in the van with him. They were doing Jackie Brown. It was Jackie Brown. The movie was Jackie Brown. Samuel L. Jackson was in the van with him, and they used to do robberies and stuff together. And before he killed him, he said, "Man, what you used to be the realest. What happened to you?" You don't remember? They were doing the heist. I don't think I ever seen it. You haven't seen Jackie Brown? Oh man, you got to go see Jackie Brown. But that just kind of equates to the fact that like the old school, just like a lot of the old school guys, like they sagging their pants and stuff now. And I'm like, you trying to look young and hip, but you were supposed to be schooling these young brothers to the real. But you've like mingled.
They forgot about the saying. They forgot about
You've mingled with them, who they gonna look up to? How are they gonna mature if you're acting?
You got every 10 years. You gotta remind them of why they got this thing where they made a meme out of it that sagging spelled backwards is niggas, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the funny thing about that, and that's for the people way in the back, right? Listen, 10 years ago they reminded us, and here we are another 10 years, right? Sagging your pants comes from the federal prison. It was a signal to let those guys know that you were attracted to them and you wanted to be a target. That was the only reason why your pants sagged. You wanted to show what you had. So if y'all cool with showing what you have, then keep sagging your pants. Or if y'all here in the streets, and once again, I'm not condoning this, but I don't have anything against it either. If you're out here hustling and your goddamn pants is falling and 12 pull up, you're not going to get away.
Right, right.
I don't care if your car is right in front of you, you still have to run your ass to that car. And your pants fall down and you're not.
But they had a belt around it too, though. Like, I mean, like, what sense do this make? Like, your pants hanging, but you got the belt. Like, the belt supposed to hold your pants up. What the fuck? I don't know.
It's a lot of things that's just not politically correct. On 444, Jay-Z was saying, I could say I'm the realest nigga rapping. He said, but that's not even a statement. He said, that's like saying I'm the tallest midget. That ain't politically correct at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just people are, being politically correct is just, it's more probable now, but at one point in time, I remember when it was completely obsolete. And people just didn't care, and now we got this sensitivity thing.
Oh Lord, yes, the sensitive. Like, why the men so sensitive? Like, you can't say none of them, but don't talk to me like this, and they sexy now. Like, women are supposed to be sexy with our pants tight. Like, why is y'all pants so tight? Like, you supposed to be, rough and rugged, and swag. And what the fuck? How is your pants tighter than mine? I'm supposed to be sexy. You primping, and I don't mind a man keeping himself grown. Like I said, I should look at the shoes and the teeth. Keep yourself grown. I want to see your hair good, and I want to you smell good. But when you being sexy, like, you supposed to just be handsome or debonair. Or,
I don't know.
You know what?
Everybody different.
I'm seeing this with every age group. Like, and then the jogging pants tight. Like, the jogging pants supposed to be loose.
I don't like mine too baggy. I just like them to fit.
What they be tight. Like, tight.
Oh, no.
Tight, like I'm accidentally putting yours on if we, you know what I'm saying, and went out tonight.
That I don't, mine always, because my daughter's mom, she'll do that. She'll be like, these too big? I'm like, yo, they fit good on me, but they'd be too big for her. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm straight.
Now you know you're
straight. So I'm like, all right, we good.
I'm just like, wow, the men are so sensitive. Like, you can't say nothing to them. Like, I'm an alpha. I don't know if you could tell that, but I get down to business. I need to know the what, when, where, and why, how. I need to know what you want, who sent you, what can I do for you, what this relationship gonna be, what if it's a sexual thing, how we gonna do this, or if it's business, or if it's we just getting to know each other. Like, I need to know these things up front, right?
And me, I'm the total opposite.
I'm
the total opposite. Like, I want to, like, okay, listen, I'll be telling my daughter's mom this for years. Hopefully she'll catch up to. I'm like, yo, I'm like a set machine. Like you, I'm not one to assume shit. So don't think that I'm gonna assume anything.
Well, what's with the questions though? Like, I need to ask. Okay, say you want to date me, and we on a date.
I ain't asking nothing.
But then how you gonna know what you need to know? Through my actions,
right?
Yeah, by watching.
I don't have any expectations in no relationship except for you to be who you say you are. I don't care about anything else.
So you listening for the word, and it's got the actions have to walk hand in hand with my word.
Yeah, if you said that's who you are, you know what I mean, and they always say when a person shows himself, believe him. So like for me. If you show me who you are, then that's who you are. I'm not going to take anything else from that. I've never been that type of guy. I don't care about how you look or what you got, because fam, I ain't get you there. I met you when you got there.
All right.
You feel me?
Yes.
So that's just how I move now. For what you do is what you do. How you communicate, how you act around me. Be who you are, because I've noticed in relationships people get stupid comfortable later. I'm like, fam, you better be who you is today.
Yes.
Like, because that's why I'm so glad I don't do the dating thing anymore. Because I remember I used to take girls out and then go get the salad and be like, fam, all right, you can get that? I'm about to fuck this chicken up. Like, I don't know what you gonna do, but I'm about to crush this chicken.
I ain't never been a salad
and
girl.
It's gonna be good.
I don't even want the salad. I want the double baked potatoes, triple loaded. I want the 20-ounce steak.
I'm not a steak
And
guy.
I want the 20-ounce beer at Texas Roadhouse. I want the 2 sides, and I might want a dessert. And don't worry, I got the tip.
You know what's crazy? I'm so not like the average guy, cause I'm not a steak and potato guy.
What you eat? Fish and fries?
Like I like version. I like chicken. I'm just a chicken.
Now you go fit the stereotype. All black
And
people
I like beef
chicken.
ribs. I don't eat pork.
Oh, you like the beef ribs?
I don't eat pork.
I gotta have the beef ribs cooked nice because sometimes the beef ribs can be dry or tough.
Yeah, you gotta. It just
So they gotta know how to cook those beef ribs because everybody don't know how to cook them.
if you pre-season and everything and have it already prepared set up, it depends on what the temperature is. You keep it low.
Yeah, that bottom
Yeah,
lip
right.
look like you know how to eat something. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me just wind this up. Tell me where we can follow you. Tell me where we can get your music. Promote yourself. Let us know.
You can get my music at a couple of places. Okay. Let me shout out my team real quick. Shout out to JB Cooling. He's a part of BGE. Shout out to Shay. Shout out to TA. Shout out to Jay Lieber. You know what I mean? Also shout out to my guy X, Martian Gang. And to my entire staff, Shayna, Andy, Boss Lady, you know, the whole UCAN, everybody. If I missed you, y'all know what time it is. You can find my music on Spotify. Brezzy Esco, that's BREZZYESCO, right? Because some people say it with 2 E's. Long story. You can find it on there. You can type that in, or you can type in Brezzy Esco, Bandcamp 1 or Bandcamp 2. Also Almighty Esco. You can find all of these things on Deezer, iHeartRadio, Tidal, Amazon. Or if you can't find it on anything else, Google me. It's there. YouTube as well. I'm everywhere.
Is there any doing any shows, doing anything new coming up?
Okay, so we got the Crucible coming up in a couple of weeks. We doing the art in a couple of weeks, and we also do quality CBD. So you just gotta stay tuned. Stay in tune, or catch us in the Isthmus, however you say it. I've been in the paper countless times and didn't even know it. Just found out. So you can always catch me when we're doing another come up. I'm doing a birthday bash October 18th. To the place to be announced. So check it out.
Okay, we want to be Time to Chill. Want to be at the birthday bash so we can catch us a few little pictures.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? We'll have to slide us a few of them birthday bash tickets. You know what I'm talking about? It's gonna
be dope. We're looking at the location right now. We was talking about it last night and what we want to do and where we want to have it at. So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, young Brezzy Esco in the building, full of a plethora of information so that you can provide yourself with some safety and some comfort and some business sense. This is a time to chill. The word of the day is
discipline.
Discipline, baby. Have your discipline on. We love you, Black and brown people, and all those who watch us. Love yourself first, so who else will? It's a time to chill. We'll see you next Sunday.